What's up, Panda Nation? It's Panda's Peter Von Panda here. Hey, I got this other holster from Klinger Holsters, and now this is actually the Comfort Cling holster. This is kind of what they're known for, I think. And so I wanted to check this out. This one is the size for my subcompact, so it's the one when I ordered it. It's supposedly the one that fits my Smith & Wesson Shield, not Bodyguard, the Shield. So, subcompact 9mm, single stack 9mm, I should say specifically. And it comes on this cardboard thing here. Let's just pull that off and start taking a little bit of a look at it. But what they kind of say here, and why they call it a clinger, is that you'll see that it doesn't have any hooks on it, right? What the outside is supposed to be a high friction surface. I think they might even print that here. Let's see. How does it work? High friction exterior and a low friction interior. And gel-like cushion and comfort. So we're going to find out, because what I really like about this is that, one, it's fabric, it's padded. You can see here really thick padding, kind of like a closed cell foam or something in there. And I really like the padded ones because they kind of give a little bit more than Kydex or a hard-sided or even like leather. And so especially if you're pocket holstering or inside the waistband or something like that, they give a little and they don't quite, show a printing like, other hard side cases. The other thing is this material, if it is nice and grippy, it'll kind of stay where you want to put it, maybe even give you a little bit of give so you don't get all the chub rub or whatever it might be. But then this interior material, inside material, if it is nice and smooth, it feels kind of like a polyester, almost like like a canvas silk. Kind of feels like the outside of a nylon messenger bag. It's pretty smooth. There's nothing snaggy on it. And you can see a really tight weave on there, so I think that's going to be nice and smooth. But it gives nice protection, hides the shape a little bit or smooths out the shape, and then, like I said, no big clips or anything like that. So you should be able to just put your shield in here, put it inside the waistband, and then pull it out, and the friction here is going to be lower, so this will stay in your waistband, and this will I'll release the pistol very easily, just like that. So you can see here it's sewn here on the bottom, so you get a nice little tab hanging off the edge. Looks like the trigger should fit right in there, and then this side is open, so it should allow the barrel to kind of get all the way to the end here. So let's go ahead and put the shield in and take a look at it. Here's my 9mm single stack shield. You can see here that I have it with the extended base plate on it. This weapon has been safety checked, but you'll just have to take my word for it. So I'm just going to throw it in here. And what I'm looking for is a nice tight fit. And as you can see here, man, the lower trigger guard gets kind of wedged in there. So that is a nice tight fit. You can see there that we have the opening. So you can see the end of the pistol. If I push it all the way down there so that the back end is flush with the top, which I think you'll want, you want it to be as compact as possible, the end of the gun is just a little bit recessed still, maybe a quarter to a half inch above kind of this edge stitching, so you don't have any real part of the gun protruding. Like I said, even the stitching right here stops the grip right where you'd want it and kind of hides the back end of it, so that is all pretty cool. Now I'm gonna put this in my waistband, and one of the things is I'm hoping it's working, because this outside to me actually feels kind of slippery. I mean, it feels kind of slick. It doesn't feel like Vaseline, low coefficient surface of ice or anything, but I'm just surprised. I kind of expect it to be a little more like felt-like or suede-like, to be grippy. So I'm just kind of curious to how this will work, when pressed up against skin and cloths. And I guess just before we put it in my in the waistband here, I just want to show you, I've got a tablecloth here, and I'm putting it down, and I want to push it, and you can see here, it's going to take the tablecloth with it. Now, you could just say that's weight, but even if I kind of just push it along while holding the cloth down, there's a lot of resistance. I'm actually surprised. What I actually just did here was I put it on my jean leg, and I was kind of rubbing it back and forth, and it is grippy, man. It's got, like, I don't know, it's just the kind of the makeup of the material or something. It does have a lot of friction there. So all right, let's take a look at it in the waistband. It's kind of nice to have a little extra weight on you if you're going to be using this kind of thing, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the waistband here. And I'm not so worried about the concealment right now, because this is going to be no better or worse than any holster. In fact, I think it'd be better because of how, you know, slim it is and no big extra clip, or the big, you know, the big Kydex with the clips on the side. So I'm not super worried about that right now, but I am wearing a pretty thin, obviously, golf shirt here, so it's going to probably print a little bit, but having a little weight actually is beneficial for hiding and concealing. But as you can see, it's in there, and it's in the waistband, and it's really comfortable because basically you don't have any part of the pistol, you know, in this case a little bit of the handle is pressing against you know, my body, but basically everything else that's touching anything, including your pants or your shirt or your skin, is that clinger material, and so you can get a really quick access to it. Now, you saw how hard, or you know, how stiff it is when I put the pistol into the holster. So, you know, it's holding it in there, and I think one of the things that fabric is going to stretch out over time, so it'll get a little looser. But I would be surprised here. This is literally my first time even drawing it out, because I haven't even taken it out of the holster once I put it in. But I wouldn't be surprised that it's going to bring out the whole holster itself, even with that kind of low friction material in there. I just feel like it's wedged in there so tight, and it's sewn so tight that it's going to pull the whole thing out, and it's not going to have enough friction, even with this high friction material on the outside, to leave it in there. So I'm just going to I'm going to quick do a draw here, and it did. Right now, I wasn't really trying to go for like a tactical draw or anything, but man, that is really comfortable. So I'm just kind of holding it in with my thumb here, and I would say that, you know, it's starting to loosen up already, right? And man, okay, now that I've taken it in and out like 2 or 3 times, I actually don't think it's gonna move. I think it would just come out. You know, I want to get my shirt out of the way. I don't want that to be kind of a factor right now, so I'm just gonna tuck it in that side. But if I pull this out, look at that. It does cling, man. And actually, this didn't really move at all as far as I can tell. So even if I wedge it way down there in the holster again and just pull it out, man, all right. So you might want to run the pistol in and out of the holster like 2 or 3 times, but after that, this thing does stick in place, man. It's kind of blowing my mind a little bit, because I really didn't expect it to work that well. I kind of imagine, you know, if without a clip on it, how are you going to do it? And man, that is great. And I can pull it out pretty easily too. I mean, it definitely had some resistance, but I'll be honest, even if I were to pull the thing out and it would have this, it would be really easy to just whip this sucker off if you needed to. And, you know, you wouldn't be able to fire it with it on there because your finger can't get to the trigger, but man, you can just pull that off. It does start coming off really, really easily, I think, once you break it in, but it's so easy to throw in there. Like I said, I think really impressive. This clinger definitely does work. Pretty impressed with it. Check it out. I'll put a link to it. Clinger holsters, you know, these things are really great and kind of keep, you know, a larger pistol, or, you know, as you go up the size ladder here, very minimal when you're putting it on yourself. So, Peter von Panda out.